What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Age of Quarantine. My name is David Castillo. Cheers. This is Saint Vitus' live interview show. We got John Joseph from Cro-Mags joining us today. Total legend. Super stoked on it. Want to give a shout out to everybody who's been, donating on the Kickstarter and just really helping us out. It's been obviously a crazy time for the world, and thank you guys for just taking the time out to support us, and we can't wait to be back and enjoying some live music and doing what we do. But thanks for joining us right now, and John's going to join us shortly. For anybody who has questions for John, we will be taking questions. Just use the little question box down at the bottom here, and that will hook you right up. And I'll get to some questions a little bit later on in the interview. So John will be with us shortly. Soon as up. What's up to my co-host and brain behind this, Chris Enriquez. Shout out to him, and also to Artie Shepard, who's also been doing a couple of these on Wednesdays and on Sundays. We got the whole squad and a ton of great guests this week. We got everyone from Adam from Taking Back Sunday to Chris did a great interview with Stephanie from Brutus this past weekend, which is up on our IGTV. And there's just so much great stuff coming up. All right, here we go. We got John coming on live in a second. Connecting. Hey.
Hey.
John fucking Joseph, the guy. How you doing, man?
Hey, I realized I wasn't following you guys. I was like, where the fuck is it?
Come on, man. You got to get with it, man. How many times have you played a Vitus and you ain't following us, man? That's a damn sin.
I'm old, man. I realize it now. I'm like, am I following them?
Meanwhile, he hits me up for guest list, but he ain't following us. Unbelievable. Story of the Cro-Magnon here. I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing all right. Hanging in there. How about yourself, man?
I'm good, same old training and writing, finishing up a movie and shit. So,
a busy man as usual. So, John, I've been starting off these interviews just with a pretty simple question, which is, most people are going to guess that you're in New York City, if I'm right, in the Lower East Side.
Yeah.
And where would you be if you weren't at home right now? Do you have an answer to that question?
I'd be right where I am because I'm putting in 8 hours a day working on my film. And, me personally, it hasn't stopped my flow. Only thing I can't do is swim. My swimming pool is closed, but I mean, my Ironman that was supposed to happen May 2nd got pushed back to September in Utah, and then I'm still training. I got Ironman Lake Placid at the end of July if it happens, but who the fuck knows? It's your guess is as good as mine, but I always stay ready to show up at the start line. So, it doesn't really, I needed to get this rewrite done, and I just got the book off to the agent, the cookbook. So,
you're a busy dude.
I get shit done. I'm up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So, I got 4 hours of writing in and meditation before most people even fucking wake up. That's just what I got to do,
Definitely before me. But one of the things I wanted to ask you, actually, because I feel like a lot of people, kind of know a lot about your history, things like that, in the bands and everything. But one thing that kind of was on my mind a lot was keeping that kind of PMA mindset. You wrote that book, The PMA Effect.
Yeah, the PMA Effect, right?
In these kind of dark times, how have you been sort of maintaining that mindset as the world seems so chaotic around you?
Well, listen, man, like I said to my friend today, he asked me how you holding up, and I said, hey, I survived New York City on the streets in the 70s. This is you know, it's another issue, but you have to keep your fucking mind right. I do that anyway, and the way you do that is by constantly keeping engaged in positive work. You know, I mean, I've been following a lot, not in the mainstream media, but the actual facts of a lot of shit that's going on behind this whole fucking thing. And I don't comment upon that really because I think at this point, spreading whatever the fuck ain't gonna help the situation. It's better to just post positive stuff and you know, then it just kind of polarizes people anyway. You know, everybody starts fucking arguing, and you know, the thing these days is people have been so conditioned that even you, despite even being presented with actual facts and documentation, they're still going to be like, ah, that's bullshit. So I don't debate that kind of stuff, and you know, really, I'm just trying to put some positive content out there. I started the PMA, like a newsletter, the PMA project. So if anybody subscribes to my email list, then you know, you can get sent every Monday. I do this newsletter. It's just positive content. I'm not trying to fucking sell you nothing. It's just I try to do service and help people and stuff like that. And you know, I do what I've been doing before. You know, I wake up before the crack of dawn. I get after it. You know, a lot of people are having difficulties. I have mad people tell me they relapsed, and you know, they started. One guy today, he's like, "Yo, I started fucking smoking again during this." He had like 5 years without smoking cigarettes. You know, so the only way the only way you can defeat a negative mindset is by taking positive action. You know, and that's what I try to do every day. I'm out on my bike. I'm training. I'm running. In another couple of weeks, I'll be out in the fucking ocean in Rockaway swimming my fucking miles, and that's what makes me feel good. But you know, that's what I do for fun. I don't get paid to be an Ironman. It's like that's you know, that's something that's part of the whole project. But I got to get my projects done now. So we just submitted something for a cooking show for TV and like I said, the cookbook, and I'm working on new music for Bloodclot. So I don't have enough hours in the day, and when I touch the pillow at night, I'm fucking out, man. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty amazing to sort of see how you kind of go within yourself to continually find things to kind of fill that time and to kind of bring your perspective from within yourself out to everybody else with all these different projects, whether it's,
well, you know, I say
books,
like
films.
Yeah. I mean, I put it like this. I'm not a fucking rocket scientist. Like, even all this stuff in the PMA effect, I just picked the brains of, like, bad motherfucking men and women on the planet and all the lessons that I've learned in the School of Hard Knocks and the rest of it. And I tried to put it into a book that helps people. And I'm, like I said, I'm a work in progress. I'm not cured. I'm still, you know, dealing with my shit, but I feel, you know, a community based around doing positive shit and being around positive people. I wrote that today in the newsletter. I'm like, you better really choose very fucking carefully who you let into your camp at this point, at this time, because you could be polluted by negativity so easy. There's so many people because of this whole situation. And like my writing teacher always says, true character is only revealed under pressure. The greater the pressure, the greater the revelation of true character. You know, I know a lot of people that walk around like, you know, they got all their shit together and they're tough motherfuckers and they talk a real good rap. And then when the shit hits the fan, it ain't the fucking wannabe tough guy. It's the other guy that's very, very unassuming is actually the one that fucking steps up and handles business. So this is a test for everybody, but those tests have to be there because otherwise we don't advance as humans. We don't advance as a society. I mean, there's a lot of there's some positive stuff that's happening because of all this. It's like a reset for the planet's health. I mean, the air is clean, the water, even in the Venice canals, the fish came back. I mean, you know, I've been writing a lot of music, and a lot of it is to do with actually how we've become a pandemic ourselves on this fucking planet and what we're doing to this planet and the inhabitants of this planet, be it each other, people, animals, just, it's fucking crazy. And it's like nature sent us to our fucking room. Go to your room, you know?
Yeah.
And what are you going to do while you're there? Are you going to, what did your mother used to tell you or whatever? Hey, go to your room and think about what you did. So are you going to go to your room and fucking sit there and point the finger and be like, oh, yeah, it's this person. It's Trump's fault. It's this guy, it's Cuomo. It's this guy. Look, none of that matters. We are where the fuck we are. Deal with it. Push ahead. Find ways to every single day better yourself. You know, make yourself a better person. Be better in your community. Reach out to help people. I've been going out feeding the fucking needy people at Tompkins Square Park, supporting that program. So it's an opportunity for us to really improve ourselves and get your shit done because, I mean, I realize there's essential workers and they're busy as fuck, but a lot of people are fucking out of work right now. As a matter of fact, I think the latest numbers are 32 million motherfuckers.
I'm one of the 32 million motherfuckers. That's me.
Me too. I got no tours, no fucking... No walking tours, no, you know, but the thing is this, if you don't get your projects done while you're in this shit right now, it's not that you had a lack of time, you had a lack of discipline. You're not disciplined. How many, I don't even watch that motherfucking TV. I don't watch that fucking news. If I turn that TV on, we're watching a documentary or a movie or something like that. I'm not watching that fucking Poison. Like Frank Zappa says, the slime oozing out of your TV set. They're spreading fear and panic. There's no good news.
And you can really fall into the 24-hour news cycle and just be hypnotized by that, right?
Something. They're telling you, stay inside. Oh my God, you're gonna die. It's like, dude, go outside, get vitamin D. Keep your fucking social distance. All the shit is proven right now that this whole mask shit in public it's not helping. It's not really doing anything. It's all bullshit. I mean, if I go into a store, I'll wear it. But on the fucking street where I'm able to stay away from people, I'm trying to breathe fucking oxygen, you know? And the other thing is, you know, by sitting at home and watching the cycle of the fucking news, what is that going to do? It's going to increase stress. That's going to release the stress hormone cortisol, which breaks down your immune system. What nobody's fucking talking about is, and if you listen to the latest, go and listen to the latest Rich Roll podcast with Dr. Katz. He's at the fucking ground zero in the United States of this shit. He's up in the Bronx. Talk to Dr. Osfeld, but go listen to the interview that Dr. Katz just did on the Rich Roll podcast. He said point blank, 78% of the people getting affected by this are the elderly that are in, you know, senior citizen homes and people with pre-existing conditions, obesity. So there's a reason that the spike right now is in the fucking Bronx. Now,
food deserts,
to my friend
etc.
Osfeld, who is the head of cardiology at Montefiore, there was a pandemic of obesity, of type 2 diabetes, of hypertension, of gout, of heart disease, of all this stuff prior to this. And those are the people that when this shit gets, you know, it's like less than 3% of young people are the ones getting hammered by this thing. But you know, it's the people with the pre-existing conditions. Where are you seeing anywhere on the news of these people telling you, build your immune system, go out, get exercise, keep your social distance, get vitamin D, eat right, eat proper foods, right?
Yeah, whole foods, real food.
Take vitamin C supplements. Take D3 if you can. Eat whole foods. You know, strengthen your immune system. Take turmeric. Take black seed oil. You're not seeing anybody say any real. Go listen to Dr. Katz. What he's saying. This is a real motherfucking doctor. He's not some shill on fucking CNN pushing big pharma's fucking agenda. This is a real dude. And
how did you get into Rich Roll, by the way? Can you explain who Rich Roll is for people who may not know?
Rich Roll, you know, he's like a collegiate swimmer back at Stanford. He fell into he's a lawyer. He fell into alcoholism, almost died, and then climbed out of a deep, dark fucking well to become one of the fucking most fit, voted one of the top 5 fittest humans on the planet. He's gone on to achieve amazing, results athletically, with endurance. He's plant-based. He has a podcast, the Rich Roll podcast. It's usually number fucking 1 on health and wellness. I would suggest going down the rabbit hole. I've been on there a few times. Bad motherfuckers have been on there. David Goggins, like all kinds of fucking people that are going to inspire you. And there's a lot of people kicking knowledge that you're not going to hear in the mainstream. And what Dr. Katz is saying on there, you're not going to hear on the mainstream. Although he did an op-ed piece for the New York Times, and it went into the fucking stratosphere virally, what he was saying. Everybody fucking either is talking about it one way or the other. But he has no agenda other than practicing the Hippocratic oath that all doctors take to do no harm. And also, you know, he tries to heal people of the disease, not just stuff medication down people's throats to treat symptoms. It's something I've been saying all along. All that shit is doing is treating the symptoms. It's masking them. You're not getting to the root cause of why did I get this disease. Hypertension, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, all of that is 100% reversible on a plant-based diet. Go on Forks Over Knives website, forksOverKnives.com. Check out the real doctors kicking the real information. What this needs to do for us right now, because they're saying we're going to be living with this and other pandemics for a while. So how are we going to strengthen our immune system so that we don't become a victim to this shit?
And would you consider that to be part of the discipline that you were talking about before, right? Like the discipline that you're, and the kind of growth mindset, the PMA mindset that you've been saying that you've been applying to the discipline you apply to your writing, to your triathlons, to your overall health, spiritually,
music, everything.
Music. So this is something that kind of goes across various things. You apply this across, whether you're training for a race or you're writing a movie. Or you're taking care of your diet, right?
That's it. You know, the hashtag mindset is everything. That's what the mindset. You could be the fastest motherfucker in the world and try to run from your mind and your thoughts, but guess what? I don't care where you go on God's green earth. Your mind's going to be there waiting for you. You know, I have a chapter in the PMA effect. You can't outrun your mind, so you better make it work for you as opposed to becoming a slave to toxic mental thoughts.
Totally.
You know, getting fucked up on drugs. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. I personally don't have time for that. I'm trying to get shit done.
Yeah.
I mean,
what was kind of a moment where, I mean, you've been kind of down various paths in your life, right? From linking up with the Bad Brains and kind of getting more of the Napoleon Hill kind of vibe, and then Hare Krishna, and then also having, your battles with addiction and stuff like that. When was a kind of a turning point moment where you're like, I got to change my ways, get back to where I was at?
Well, I'm writing about that now because a lot of this movie that I'm writing is based on the addiction and the problems I had coming out of a childhood that I never dealt with, and what that led to me doing in this life, how that fueled the addiction and everything else. So the part that I'm writing now, it's fucking insane. You would not believe the shit that I did from '88 when I left the Cro-Mags before Best Wishes to 1990. And I realized I'm going to be fucking killed, or I'm going to kill somebody because I want to get their drugs, or somebody's going to blow my fucking brains out. So the shit that I was doing, it was, I wasn't this like skinny little crackhead hiding in alleys like hoping a rock falls on the ground. I was like, yoke you the fuck up, throw you out of my car at 50 miles an hour and rob your shit and walk up and just chase motherfuckers in the Pitt Street projects into the stairwell and beat the shit out of them and take their shit. That's the kind of crackhead that I was.
I still remember reading the chapter in Evolution of the Cro-Magnon where you talk about you're super high and you're like flying over the Williamsburg Bridge.
Yeah, that was, we robbed this Colombian drug dealer and I almost got fucking shot because the dude that talked all the shit and ran his mouth punked the fuck out and almost got my fucking head blown off. And just to fuck with him, I pulled up at a crack spot with the car, and I don't even have a license. I'm AWOL from the fucking Navy. I got everybody fucking looking for me. And I rolled up, and it was Clinton Street, because Clinton Street used to go south.
Yeah.
You used to be able to go onto the, you used to be able to make that left and get on the fucking Williamsburg Bridge. But they stopped that because of the drug traffic pattern. People would cop on the corner of Clinton and Houston was a crack spot. They used to stand there. So they would, and then Stanton Street too. So you would cop and then you could just drive over the bridge. So when I did that, this guy punked the fuck out and I rolled up to this crack dealer and they used to stick the whole bag into the fucking window, below the window inside your car. Like, what do you need, white boy? And I just grabbed the pow and took the whole bag and I sped down, like 50 miles an hour down fucking Clinton Street, and we hit one of those speed bumps, and like the car was
because there's a school right there. There's a school right there. So
yeah, not on Clinton. That's on another street. I know the school you're talking about. They used to do Amazon and fucking all the clubs, the outdoor and that. That's like Suffolk Street. And then I look over and I'm flying through the air. I got this dude's blood everywhere in the car because I beat him down with Kyoga, the Colombian drug dealer. On the corner of 18th and 8th, you could go there and buy 10 kilos of coke on that corner back in the day. And I got no license. You know, I'm flying.
AWOL.
Everything.
The sins from Norfolk were still following.
Yeah.
I love that book.
But they would show up periodically at my mom's, you know, and just like, look, you know, this guy, he needs to turn himself in. This warrant never goes away.
Shit.
So like, yeah, the military warrants never go away. And as you know, it was my own motherfucking band member that snitched on me. And
he who shall not be named, man. I wasn't bringing it up, but
yeah, well, whatever. He'll be named. It was fucking Harley ratting me out on 95. Yeah. So there you go. That's the truth.
There it is.
But you know, the whole thing is like I just didn't have no concern for fucking human life and or my own life for that matter. And I got to this point. I came back to New York. Like I'm writing this whole part right now where like I spun out in LA for like 9 months with this chick I was with at the time. And we robbed the Red Hot Chili Peppers merch person. Used to be a drug dealer. We stayed at her house and we fucking robbed her when she went to work. I mean,
damn, that Chili Peppers money must have been good at that time too. That must have been a decent score.
Oh yeah,
I said that.
I mean, just crazy shit. We spent, I think, $250,000 of her parents' money. We were just writing bad checks. Her parents were so rich, and we would just buy electronics and all kinds of shit and give it to the dealers in exchange for shit. So like eventually. Oh shit!
Straight barter system, huh?
Yeah. Eventually they cut her card off, and then she had books of checks. So we were writing fucking $1,000 checks, cashing them. Like we did crazy shit, and then we ended up having to sell her car. And then it, you know, that's the part of the script I'm out now. When we came back to New York, and all the shit that went down, man. Like,
so just to be clear, so you're working on this script that's really pretty much this 2-year period that was kind of honestly the worst period of your life, maybe?
You ever saw the movie Tender Mercies?
I've never seen it.
It was written by Horton Foote. And who's the guy that was in Apocalypse Now? He was like, you use Charlie Don't Surf.
Yeah.
Who was that actor? Come on, people.
I don't know.
Not Martin Sheen. Anyway, he was the star, but everything in that movie, you didn't see what he did. He told the backstory in the exposition, so the audience.
Dustin Hoffman.
Not Dustin Hoffman.
No? I thought it was him.
So he told the backstory in the expositions. No, not Robert Redford. Holy shit. Robert Duvall.
Duvall, there you go. Thank you, Pluto Sumi.
Yeah, Horton Foote won the fucking the Academy Award for Best Screenplay. So that's what I'm having to do a lot, is let the audience fill in the pieces through the exposition, through dialogue, but well carefully placed dialogue. So you don't get to see a lot of the scenes, but the audience could put the pieces together, like what the fuck happened in the backstory. But yeah, but the main chunk of the script takes place, I would say, from page, I would say from page 10 all the way to the end is this chunk of time falling into the addiction. And the Cro-Mags shit is in there too. And, although I'm not calling it the Cro-Mags, but everybody will know what, it's,
we don't need to call in any extra lawyers here,
It's really about, someone who slips into madness and addiction and has to confront his past, or it's going to fucking destroy him. And that's the story in essence, and that's what I had to do. And there's a lot of deep scenes in there, and I've spent 10 years writing this fucking thing, so I got a lot of interest now. So and then I got doing a comedy. I'm doing another drama set in 1 year, 77. The shit I went through that first year on the streets in New York, in Rockaway, all the
and like in Coney, right? Was it Coney or Rockaway?
Rockaway Beach.
Where the
Ramones hung out,
Yeah.
I used to see them at 116 was the big hangout on the boardwalk.
Sure.
So I was in St. John's Home for Boys in 76, and things went bad there. So
if anyone hasn't read Evolution of a Cro-Magnon, it's must read and hopefully must see TV at some point too.
Yeah, man.
It's phenomenal.
My job is to just write the best script possible.
Sure.
And then after that, we'll figure everything out. It's out of my hands. Like someone asked, who's gonna play? I don't know. Like that's I want to play like this decrepit junkie in the movie, but I'm not gonna try to play myself.
That's a good one. Who could play John Joseph in the movie? We'll get back up. Maybe some suggestions in the comments.
I'm not Steve Buscemi. Goddamn, I'm not that fucking busted up looking.
Dude, don't take a piss on Steve from Park Slopes. Steve's great.
Listen, I know Steve. Okay?
Yeah, I bet you.
I know Steve from the neighborhood. I know Joe Carberry. I know all of these actors that started out back in the fucking day down here. Miguel Piñeros, all these fucking people. I know the whole fucking slew of them.
Yeah. Steve's a great guy.
Yeah. Like, listen, when I sang those 2 shows with the Bad Brains, Steve Buscemi came and brought his kids, man. Like,
I seen his kids, an awesome drummer, and he was in a really good band, and I used to see them around.
I'm just saying, like, I just do the work, and then I'll tell you one thing, though. The role is you got to be able to go to some deep, dark fucking places. So, like, it's going to have to be a hell of a motherfucking actor.
Yeah, maybe some, like, Christian Bale vibe. But, so I want to talk a little bit about the band, about the Cro-Mags, that first run. So I feel like, you know, the story of the Cro-Mags is a story, a little bit of turmoil, but there had to be times that were really, you know, just positive and uplifting and good, you know, and I feel like, you know, I think just a lot of people kind of are mired in some of the conflict and they're fascinated by it, but in that earlier time of Cro-Mags, what are some of your fondest memories of just being in the band?
Yeah, I mean, you know, living in the squats and writing a lot of the lyrics and the bonding that went down, you know, between me and Harley and Mackie. I mean, you know, I can't say I really ever like bonded with Kevin because he was from a different world. Genius guitar player and wrote a lot of that shit, but he's an uptown rich kid from the Upper East Side, so I don't come from that world. I come from when shit went bad in the squats. I was the one didn't have nowhere to go. Harley could run home to his mother's on 12th or whatever the fuck, but Kevin had the Upper East Side, whatever the fuck. Like, you know, there was a lot of good times.
Is there any particular shows or anything that stands out where you're just sitting there, you're like, I'm sitting next to Lemmy and we're about to go on tour and this is sick?
I mean, yeah, you know, the Motorhead tours, all that shit. I mean, people don't know how we got that Motorhead tour.
Tell us.
Because I'm going to tell you some shit. It's in the book, but so Motorhead gave us a show at the Ritz. And I think it was MOD playing second, and we were opening, right?
Mm-hmm.
So half that fucking crowd was punk rock, hardcore motherfuckers that were there to see us. This was our big, you know, fucking hurrah show in New York. Like the biggest, I mean, we played with the Bad Brains and everything too. And those shows were packed. But this was like Motorhead, like, you know, that's just like stepping up.
Yeah, it's just a huge crowd for you guys.
Into another crowd, another, you know.
Crossing over.
So what happened was Lemmy and them was running around, you know, doing, yeah, it was like 85, I think, running around, buying fucking drugs and doing whatever. And their roadies did this like 5-hour fucking sound check, like just jamming fucking songs and shit, like. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck, man? We got to get our gear on stage. We got all this shit. And I'm hearing, you know, what's going on. They're hanging out with the HAs, the Angels, and running around and doing this and that. So it got to be so late that they were like, we're going to have to make the opening band go on after Motorhead, which was us. And I'm like, yo, how the fuck are we going to go on after Motorhead? That's bullshit. Motorhead is the closer. When Motorhead, you ain't going on after Motorhead. That's it.
No.
I think it was MOD got to play, and then Motorhead went on. They fucking killed it. The lights came on. Show was over. I fucking went down, and I called fucking Lemmy out right on the main floor of the fucking Ritz. I was like, yo, fuck you. I mean, listen, you got to understand it. I'm at all Motorhead's first shows fucking in New York. I'm like a fan of the band, and for him to do that to us, me and Harley was fans.
Yeah, you were like, this is bullshit.
I idolized fucking Lemmy and Motorhead. We were like, God damn, we're getting... And then all our fans are there and everything, our friends and family, and we get jerked. I fucking called him out. I was like, fuck you, motherfucker. Come out here, Lemmy. Like, yo, Lemmy came out with, like, Hell's Angels and was like, they were like, yo, ready to fuck me up, you know? Wow. And Lemmy was like, nah. He's like, listen, Joan, I'm very sorry. I was like, yo, how the fuck can you do that to us, man? We're like your fucking fans, bro. We turned everybody on to fucking Motorhead on the hardcore scene. He's like, I'm gonna make it up to you. And the Hells Angels were like, yo, and Lemmy told him to stand the fuck down, like not to fuck me up, you know? I wasn't thinking. I didn't give a fuck. I would have fought whoever. I wasn't letting that shit go unnoticed.
And that's at the time too. The band is your life.
I wasn't taking that shit laying down.
Sure.
Right? Everybody else was like, "Oh man, that sucks" in the band. I'm like, "Fuck that! It sucks," and I'm fucking stepping to Lemmy to let him know what the fuck is going on. And I did. And Lemmy said, "I'll make it up to you." And you know what he told me after that? He goes, "Listen, nobody's ever done that to me, but you know what, mate? I would have fucking done the same exact thing if you did it to me back in the day. If somebody did that to me, I would have done what you did."
So you appreciate it.
I said, "That's punk rock, motherfucker. That's the streets. I come from these streets." And he gave us that fucking tour. He was true to his fucking word. He gave us the Orgasmic, and he was the nicest motherfucker. He made sure we got full sound, full production, full everything. As a matter of fact, I think it was Peter Gill, who was the drummer on that tour. Doug goes into the dressing room 2 shows in and goes, "Hey, you know, great show," to the drummer, who's like, he's a fill-in. It ain't Filthy Phil.
Yeah.
And he grabs Doug by the fucking throat. And he's like, "You ever fucking come into the dressing room of the headliner again without asking permission, I will rip your fucking throat out." Doug comes back to our dressing room and says, "Yo, that motherfucker just like fucking grabbed me by my throat because I walked inside the entrance of the dressing room. Not even in the dressing room, like a foot inside." And I was like, "What?" Yo, I rushed in there. I fucking walked up. I shoved that motherfucker into like the beverage tables and shit. I was like, "Motherfucker, I'm in your dressing room. What the fuck you gonna do now?" I said, "Put your hands on me." Lemmy comes in. He goes, "Oi, oi, what the fuck is going on?" I said, "Yo, this motherfucker just grabbed Doug by the fucking throat, bro, and threatened to fucking..." Lemmy got in his face and he goes, pointing in his face, he goes, "Let me tell you something right now. These are our fucking friends. You ever fucking disrespect them again, you're gonna be on the next fucking plane home and off this tour. You understand?"
Sick.
And the guy was like, "Yeah, that motherfucker was the nicest motherfucker. You guys need anything? Like, you need water? I was like,
that's amazing.
I was like, "Lemmy, I was ready to fuck that dude up, man. I don't know who." I mean, that's one thing. We had a reputation, the crew, everybody that fucking...
Because it's just your friends. You guys are just like a rolling...
Fucking, dude, our people back in the day, and even like, you know, whatever, we don't call it the real Cro-Mags, even though it was 2 Cro-Mags, and we held it, 2 original members, we held it down for 20 fucking years. We had Craig and AJ from Leeway in the band since '92. Craig came on a little later, but I think we did a great fucking job for what we did.
Hey, man, I'm out here at Saint Vitus loving it, man. The shows you did there were amazing.
The audacity to say real Cro-Mags when it's like one dude and it's not even the singer. But the thing was, back in the day, we had a reputation. We weren't bullies, but if you fucked around, like we
you're gonna get it.
You fuck around, you lay around. That's just who we were.
You're gonna get it.
We didn't talk shit. That's not our thing. Like what you have all this internet gum flapping shit, motherfuckers acting like they're all that. Then when you see them, they're fucking little church mice. It ain't nothing like that back in the day. This is pre-internet. This is like, I got a problem with you, I'm rolling up to your motherfucking place of business or where the fuck you live, and we're gonna handle it. It wasn't no talking. We didn't talk shit. We dealt with shit.
Yeah, it's a different time, man. It's a different time. And an accountable time.
Got, you know, they got, like my friend says, and this motherfucker did time. Everybody got thug mouths and 911 fingers. And I'm not gonna mention no names. It's a lot of motherfuckers out there like that now. And listen, I got shot, I got fucking stabbed, I got beat with baseball bats. I went upstate for 2 years for not ratting out my dealer. I don't rat. That's not my thing. I'm not a snitch. I don't rat on people. You know, I just take care of shit.
And that's that. Wanted to ask you a little bit about some stuff that's going on today too. I wanted to talk to you about Bloodclot and stuff.
Yeah.
So, you mentioned earlier that, and also when we had a conversation the other day that you were working on some stuff, and obviously Todd passed away and stuff like that. How was it just kind of getting into that band and writing new songs? And honestly, I thought the record just sounded really fresh, and it sounded really invigorated for somebody who's been doing this for so long.
The history on that, and I got to tell you, I love Todd. That was my brother from back in the day. We did both.
Fuck yeah, incredible.
We had this other band together with Mackie and Zowie. We opened up for the Red Hot Chili Peppers on the Mother's Milk shit in New York. I mean, he was just, I've known him since he came to the Lower East Side. And that's a Bad Brains poster signed by fucking Shepard Ferry. And I protected him since day one. Like when he was a little kid and came down here, he ran away from a foster home like me. I was like, and the thing was, we've been talking about doing this shit, and he kept sending me music. And I went out to LA to compete. I was supposed to go to San Diego. I had my bike, everything. I was doing the Navy SEAL Super Frog Half Ironman in Coronado. But I had torn my calf muscle, and I take 2 weeks off and figure, all right, I'll test it when I get out there. I showed up out there with my bike and everything, ready to go to San Diego. I go try to fucking run on it, and it's shot. I'm like, I can't even run a half mile. It just seizes up on me. I'm like, that's it. I got to pull out of the race. So my whole shit is to always turn adversity into something positive. Turn a negative into a positive. I called Todd up. I said, look, my race is canceled. I'm in LA for the rest of the week. Let's work on these songs. We worked on those songs. We went and fucking demoed them, and we got the fucking deal from Brian Slago. Brian Slago, Metal Blade, fucking signed us off that demo. Tal Ronan, who owns Crossroads in LA, gave it to him. That's his boy. He's like, holy fucking shit. And then he came to New York. Michael Alago, who the fuck is that guy? Legend in the music business. Kind of structured the deal for us. And then we added Joey and we added Nick Oliveri and made the fucking record. And we did the one tour with Negative Approach. And we saw it in New York. It was just amazing. We were fucking slaying it every night. Those guys are like the most amazing musicians. I was honored to front any band that those guys were playing in. Joey, Nick, Todd.
Joey's such a beast.
Oh, he's a fucking monster. And the fucking coolest motherfucker. So chill to be with on the road. All those guys.
John, Castillos are cool. Come on, it's just the way it works.
Castillo, that's right. And then, Todd ends the tour and has problems in his relationship and relapses and gets some of that fucking what they putting in that fucking dope now that everybody
fentanyl.
Yeah, he got some
shit.
He did like some dope with fentanyl and that was it. He'd been clean, so like when he did it, it just fucking stopped his heart. He fucking died. So we just took like over a year just to like, I mean, first I had to be like, what the fuck, man? And I still was doing Cro-Mags, but it fucked me up, man. And I'm like, I couldn't even consider doing that band because I'm like, yo, like me and him started the shit. Like it was our fucking baby, man. And so then time passed and all this other shit. And then I was like, all right, I gotta, I have a record deal. We never got to, tour the record and support the record and help the label to push the record. So I was like, all right, let's get another guitar player. And I looked, and then I can't really say who it is right now, but he's a bad motherfucker. We already went to LA and rehearsed with them guys, and he fucking killed it. And we've been writing shit in New York, and it's like we didn't skip a beat from where that record Up in Arms is. and we even, you know, upped the game a little bit with the new stuff. So, you know, that's what we're concentrating on. We don't know when there's going to be shows, so you do what you can. And right now, that means writing a fucking another fucking epic record, which there's already like 7 or 8 songs, and I'm like, I'm fucking blown away by the shit that's being written. And then, you know, we're gonna, you know, get the stuff together, rehearse, demo it, and put it in Slagle's hands. See, you know, we're not asking for nothing. We're just, you know, we're just gonna go out and do what we always did, and that was like play fucking music and enjoy it, you know.
Yeah, for sure. That brings me to kind of a question I thought. You know, I'm like, John, you're, you know, 57 years old, and I feel like you
58 very soon.
58 really soon, and I feel like I just see just like such an exuberance still and such a love of what you do. It's very obvious on stage and off of it as well. What kind of keeps you motivated and like really interested? Like, are there new bands that get you excited? Is it just connecting with different people?
It's
what keeps you excited?
Life, you know, it's living the life. If you're singing shit that you ain't living, then you ain't got, then the audience smells the lie, and you don't have that energy to go forward with it. So the shit I wrote in the Cro-Mags and then what I'm writing in Bloodclot and everything else, like, you got to feel that shit in you. The truth never goes out of style. I could put on the Raw cassette right now and lose my fucking mind. The Bad Brain shit. I'm like, it's more current than ever. So, you know, you don't write. You stick with you stick with your heart, and you stick what you do. You know, that was, I believe, the problem. You know, in the Cro-Mags, it became this deliberate attempt to sell out and become a metal band, and there was. Yeah, Malfunction, Seekers of the Truth, Signs of the Times, It's the Limit, the chorus on Hard Times. I could go on and on, but I won't. And Face the Facts, By Myself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it was like, and I wrote that shit in full. All right? So all this bullshit that's being talked, he made a career out of fucking singing shit he didn't write. That's fucking lies being put out there. And if you believe that, I got a motherfucking tunnel to sell you over there called the Battery Park Tunnel. So the point of the fact is, you know, and even the shit I don't write, I lived it.
Sure.
You know, Life of My Own. I didn't write that. Eric Casanova wrote the lyrics to that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, world.
But you identified with it and you performed it really well.
I'm living it, so why shouldn't I fucking sing it?
Sure.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
I was there contributing when Survival of the Streets, that shit happened when we were living in a squat and the cops broke down the door because the person that lived in there right before us killed people. And the fucking homicide squad kicked the fucking door in. So I'm there for all of that.
Yeah.
And the thing is like, you can't actually write about shit that you don't experience in life. That's where the realness comes in.
And so
the realness comes in. That's where the passion comes in for the music, the creativity, writing songs, you know, the Bloodclot lyrics. I mean, you know, even the first album with Danny Schuler, Scott Roberts, and all that.
Yeah.
Burn Babylon Burn. Everybody's Gonna Die. I wrote that too. Thank you very much. And Crush the Demoniac. You know, there's songs of me singing them songs off Best Wishes, doing it the way I do shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a different feel to the songs.
Sure, and because it's a signature performance.
There was a real, like, it was evident that, you know, with the manager telling everybody, you guys got to go metal, all of this shit. It should have been a more natural progression rather than, like, you know, I mean, the first album, Age of Quarrel, had elements of metal, elements of hardcore, elements of punk.
Absolutely.
Yeah, both worlds too. So all these people that think, like, you know, It's the Limit when I came back to the Cro-Mags, because I was in the original Cro-Mags in '81, and you can look at the big takeover. But when I came back to the band, It's the Limit was called Kill the Ayatollah. It's like, this shit was a joke. You know, so I injected the philosophy. I'm the one who came up with the name Age of Quarrel. That came from the teachings of the Vedas from India.
Yes.
And I was like, yo, the shit that's going on in Kali Yuga, where we're at, it's crazy, it's insane. We gotta know. Malfunction. I wrote all that shit, every fucking word of it. And I was like, this is the age of quarrel. Like,
and I think we're still in it, right?
That's where that name came from. That's where the name came from.
Did you ever think at any time that, you recorded that record in like 36 hours or something crazy like that?
I did every fucking lyric. I did every song on that album one after the other because Chris Williamson was ripping us off. He got us in, got us out. He made me sing all those songs in one shot.
Yeah, right?
One after the other. Okay.
That's fucking crazy.
Do
you ever think one day in your life would define it for so long?
And let me say this. Do not buy the Cro-Mag re-releases. That is Chris Williamson ripping us off. Okay? He re-released our records. He never paid us in the first place. And now he's selling the fucking records again. A fucking scumbag that he is, crawling out like a fucking worm fucking 30 years later after he got a shit name in the business and nobody would fuck with him. And now he's re-released our records and making money off of fucking selling them online.
Sheesh.
So don't support that.
You heard it here first.
Yeah,
don't
but he cross-collateralized. He fucking ripped us off on our publishing. That guy's a fucking piece of shit, you know?
Yeah.
And,
one thing I wanted to ask before this, though, so in that 24 or 36 hours, you wrote something that, is a groundbreaking, kind of life-defining, kind of record.
Well,
do you ever think that day?
We performed it.
Or performed it, yeah.
Those lyrics were written sleeping in fucking burnt-out buildings, showering at fire hydrants, having motherfuckers try to rob you. Growing up, my life experience up to that point is what made those lyrics. Like when it's like Adam Yout, the late MCA, said on the back of my book, The Evolution of a Cro-Magnon, when a lot of people talk about being from the streets, when this dude says it, it's for real. Because I was on the streets. I started in 76 on the fucking streets at 14. I left St. John's Home for Boys. I got arrested. I went back to St. John's, waiting to go to court. I left. I got arrested again. Had cases coming up. And then I had another case. And then I split in January of fucking 77 in the middle of winter and stayed on the streets. Trafficking drugs, getting locked up. The only motherfucking white dude in Spofford, in the South Bronx, getting fucking attacked from the moment I walked in there and fought my motherfucking ass off. And then came out, went into the Navy, went AWOL after 2 years of being locked up, go into the Navy, smuggling, went AWOL, and started the Cro-Mags with fucking Harley at 171A.
That's it. That's it. But that one performance has just lived in infamy for so long, and that's incredible.
The performance and the energy is there. I wish we would have really had time to do that record right. Like if we got to re-record that record, but it is what it is. It sits in time. I moved on. It's like
sure.
You gotta let it go. I'm I'm taking time off from that shit too, and I'm concentrating on Bloodclot. And I want to do new music, and I'm writing new music, and I just chill with and gel with people who are in the same headspace as me, and want to create shit and be positive. And like I said, who knows when we can play out, but that never stopped me in the past because I didn't even think about that shit when I was writing them words back in the day. I don't think about shit. Even when I'm writing this movie, I know people told me I'll never make an album in the 80s. They told me I'll never fucking get a book published. They told me I'll never do an Iron Man. They said, oh, you know how hard it is to get a movie made? I'm going to prove them wrong on that too. Because I do the work and I show up every fucking day and I do my damn best. That's why when I wrote 2 TV pilots, you know who fucking asked me to come out to LA and have a meeting and wanted me to come out and move to LA and get me work staff writing on fucking TV shows? Vince Gilligan's fucking agent from Breaking Bad, Vince Gilligan, who wrote Breaking Bad, his agent, Howie Tannenbaum at ICM. He read 2 pilots I wrote, one about a cop, one about a drug gang, and had me fucking come out to LA to fucking meet him at ICM. And he goes, I read a lot of scripts. You have no idea how many scripts come across my fucking desk in a week. I sat down and read these fucking scripts front to fucking back and blew me the fuck away. It's hard for a first-time writer to get shit made, right, as a TV show. But if you do what Vince Gilligan did and you write on shows like The X-Files, all the shit he did prior to being the guy, and even then, they said this show, Breaking Bad, will never get made. Do you know how many motherfuckers turned him down?
Yeah, I can't imagine.
So I don't ever fucking have any ounce of doubt in my shit because I show up and I do the fucking work, man. And that's what it's about. Whatever the fuck you do it to the fucking utmost. You put your fucking heart and soul in it. You get up every day. You fucking work your ass off. You don't take no for an answer. You don't take shortcuts. About 3 minutes left.
Yeah, we're on the 3-minute line, but that's absolutely true. I feel like I should pump that through that last part through the speakers in my music studio so I can keep making shit. And that's basically it. You know, I mean, the world is fucked up, but we have to still keep trying to create and doing as much as we can. That's why we started this show.
And I'm going to tell you what the problem is right now. We live in a microwave, insta-fame fucking society where people think I'm going to throw a video up on YouTube and my whole... Yo, we never had none of that shit. We did what we did because we loved it. And the audience fell in love with the love that we had for what we did. That's what you concentrate on. You love the work itself. You don't start thinking about the result. What's going to come? I want to be a fucking rock star. I want to be a fucking movie star. I want to be a famous writer. You don't fucking work for that reason, because if the initial success doesn't happen, you know what happens? Bye-bye. I'm still here since 1981 playing fucking music and loving what the fuck I do. And I just finished my 4th book. I got movies coming, TV shows coming, new music coming with fucking Bloodclot. So do shit because you love it, and then you'll never give it up. Never.
I love that, man. Well, I think that...
I learned from them motherfuckers right there. The baddest motherfuckers to ever walk on a fucking stage, the bad brains.
Absolutely, man. So we got 2 minutes left, John. I just wanted to say thanks a lot for coming to join us on our show, you know, always supporting us.
I bring Michael Alago food every night or so I gotta go make him some food and bring it over to him, you know. If you haven't seen Who the Fuck Is That Guy, check him out.
Oh, it's a great film.
And, you know, the other thing is, like, you know, you can sign on to my newsletter and all that shit and get that. And I'm going to be doing a virtual walking tour where I go out to the sites and people could log on. We'll do it via Zoom. So you can actually take the walking tour, something really cool for 90 minutes by sitting in your fucking house. I'm going to take you to all the places.
Nice. Yeah, those are great. And you've been doing those for years now. So, guys, check that out. Follow John on Instagram.
And I've been on fucking the Today Show, fucking New York Times, everything, man. So, you know.
Yeah.
You guys be good. I got to get to cooking. Thanks for
having me on. Dude, John, you're the fucking man. Thank you so much, dude.
We look forward to playing at Saint Vitus.
Fuck yeah, dude. You know that we're going to have you back as soon as this shit's ready. Peace.